Here we go.
I think I'm going to be okay. Come on. Come on. Secret Service is worried about them. If we have to worry about them, we have big problems. Okay, do you want to do this? Watch what I do, and then I'm going to give you some pens. Okay. You know, if you'd like to gather around me, I think I'm. You know, if you'd like to gather around me, I think I'm going to be okay. Come on. Come on. Secret Service is worried about them. If we have to worry about them, we have big problems. Okay, do you want to do this? Watch what I do, and then I'm going to give you some pens, okay? Are you ready? What a nice picture this is, huh, Governor? You ready? We'll do a good job. Wait, let me press that. I want to make this a really good signature because this is a big one, right? Oh, I think we have a 10. We have a 10.
God bless you, Mr. President.
Whew, I don't know about you guys. I got a little emotional watching that. Man, you guys hear me okay? Listen, I'm trying the new Rumble studio. Rumble, listen to me. I want this to work, but your studio right now sucks. What's up, guys? I'm sorry. If you guys notice glitching with the video issues, all that stuff, it is because the studio I'm working with on Rumble, it's just not up to snuff right now, and it's annoying. I'll be honest. It's really annoying because I want to do a good show. But anyways, so that was Trump signing the ending of men and women's sports, which is just amazing. And thank you, Jesus, for him and all he's doing. This is just the best. But anyways, yeah, man, I'm trying to make Rumble work at the same time as YouTube, but if this keeps up, I'm going to have to go back to my old setup. Sorry. I'm trying to make it work, but hey, you guys like my cheesy theme song? That was fun. I had a lot of fun making that. It's amazing what you can do with AI now. It's amazing. Really fun stuff. So let me say hey to some people and let's get into the show because wow, we got so much going on. I tell you, as a content creator, this is the gift that keeps on giving, this Trump administration. It is nonstop every day, and things are just getting crazier and crazier as the deep state gets exposed. And I'm telling you, the best things ever are happening. This is amazing. It's truly the beginning of the golden age. My brother-in-law, who is super skeptical about a lot of stuff, he's kind of black-pilled, called me up to actually call my wife today because he said he had to call her first. He said, I need to talk to Paul. And that's my first name, guys. I go by Ace, but you call me Paul if you want. But, Ace is more fun. That's what I've been going for since I was in my first job when I was 17, Ace. But he said, I need to talk to him because with all that's going on, I have the most hope I've had in maybe my entire life. And I just like, we're doing it. We're doing it. Trump is winning. We are winning hearts and minds. We are showing what's possible. This was what everybody thought was impossible for years. This is not the end. It is the beginning of the best times of our lives. And I am so excited we're here. This is awesome. There's no rug pull on this one. This is going to only get better and better. So let's say hey to some people. Girth Mike numero uno, Vinman made it in. Big B, Joe Scarpazza Technology. There's a lot of people in here tonight, so I'm not going to be able to say hey to everybody. Otherwise, I'll be doing this for 25 minutes. But I'm so glad you guys are here. NFL fans, I got new people tonight. There's a lot of new people here. Alan Gomez, Susan Burns, Matt Odell. What's going on? New people. A lot of people blowing up my chat with prophecies and stuff tonight. That's fine. That's fine. We're definitely not in the last days, but I know a lot of people believe that, and that's okay. That's okay. Toe cramp. You stopped watching Devolution for me? Wow. That's big time. That's Patel Patriot over there. Good people. All right, let me catch up with you guys for a little bit. You like my Ace Report song, Toe? Yeah, I made that with AI, baby. It's amazing what you can do now. All out of popcorn. That's so cool. Down home country music, Beyonce, says Robert. That's hilarious. I am trying new stuff always. Always trying new stuff. Let's see. Do I know how to do the one-man wiggle? Not for you. Anyways, you guys, hey, please like, share, subscribe, and we got to get going on here. Robert says, good meeting with GTI merger candidate today, AI versus. We've been talking about that in the talking about that a little bit in the Discord. So if you're a member, jump in the Discord. We can talk about all kinds of stuff, but it's good stuff. Cast Sync, what's up? Johnny Strayhorn, love it. All right, guys. Speaking of market stuff, did you guys see this one over here? No, I don't have confirmation on this. This was shared with me, but apparently Ken Griffin popped up in these USAID documents. If so, that's interesting. This came really late, so I have not had time to verify this. But if Ken Griffin's getting implicated, watch out. So again, Trump signed that. He signed that order. Says we're putting every school receiving taxpayer dollars on notice. If you let men take over women's sports or invade your locker rooms, you'll be investigated for violations of Title IX and risk your federal funding. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I'm very excited about this. And you know what? Pam Bondi is now in. And since Pam Bondi got put in, Trump is really, really starting to ramp up the rhetoric on justice stuff, which is extremely exciting. So speaking of Pam Bondi, I gotta share this right here because this is going to get a lot of peeps real excited. Here's Bondi and a little talk about a little man named Epstein. Let's watch.
Well, we know he was on the plane, not only on the plane a couple times, multiple times. He traveled internationally with Jeffrey Epstein, and he was on the plane called the Lolita Express because it supposedly had a bed in there where Jeffrey Epstein had young girls. He has been a friend of his, a continuing friend of his for years and years. Contrast that with Donald Trump, who hasn't spoken to him in many years, over a decade, after he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago for bad behavior. So that's the difference there. And I think.
Hold up. You guys hear that? This conspiracy theory, when I've told so many people that Trump kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago, and people are like, there's no proof of that. Literally, the Attorney General of the United States, who pretty much everything she says is a legal statement that can be challenged in court. She literally just said it. So there you go. There's your proof. You need to know that freaking Trump kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago and has nothing to do with them. So it was good to finally hear that from an official source, the most official source in some ways.
Americans see the two-tier justice system. But, we don't know. They're saying Clinton has not been to his private island, but he has traveled all over the world with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to know why AG Garland and the Justice Department are so quiet on this tonight. They're out there labeling parents domestic terrorists, yet they're saying nothing about this. And these documents were so slow to come out. Human trafficking is a multi-billion-dollar business in this country, and Jeffrey Epstein is dead, and Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison for 20 years where she belongs. And if people in that report are still fighting to keep their names private, Sean, they have no legal basis to do so unless they're a child, a victim, or a cooperating defendant by some chance against some potential case against Ghislaine Maxwell. And I think Mark Garagos, as a great criminal defense attorney, will back that up as well.
Okay, so that interview is from a little bit ago, but the reason I'm sharing it is because she's now our attorney general. And one of this woman's biggest issues that she's very passionate about is human trafficking. So you better believe they're going to go after the whole Epstein stuff. She's mad about it right there. This is a couple years ago. But the point is now that woman is our attorney general, and she is going to go scorched earth on human trafficking. And I have a feeling we're going to see Epstein docs here in the not too distant future. I want to answer a couple things in the chat real quick here. Martin Lawrence says there's a lot of Christian YouTubers making prophecies about a market crash. He says, I don't think it'll happen. I think we're entering upon days of golden age. Joker says, bond markets. Listen, if you guys have been watching my show, I don't know if you have. You guys look new to me. I have been predicting based on evidence, but also based on what I do believe. I do believe in prophecy. Okay. I do believe in, the combination of those, the people I trust prophetically, same thing. I do believe there's a market crash coming this year. I think it's going to be epic. And the evidence does point towards it. It's way overdue, which means it's going to be worse. But I also believe that because it needs to happen to purge the system, restart the system, and Trump and whoever's after him, I think it's going to be JD Vance, whoever's after him, is going to rebuild our economy afterwards. It's going to give them the opportunity. So pain, short pain, long-term gain. And so I do believe that's coming. Pam AG, she's so good. What's up, JR? Hey, you guys. I love it. Thomas Dubois says, going to hit the fan. So Kenny G moved to Florida and bought mansions there. I agree. Mac Attack, Kim Clement predicted. He did. Yeah, he's been very accurate on all his stuff. I love her too, Stephen Cross. If she wasn't 60 and I was single, man, watch out. Because I love her. She's not bad to look at either. She's genius and a total badass. Candace says, how about Bill Gates saying he was only around Epstein because of blackmail? He had an affair. Yeah, nice nice try there. Bill Clinton. Oh, Michael can't go there. She does have 100,000 shares of DJT, which I believe means she will 100% go after the stuff in the market because all the manipulation of the market, because the 100,000, but also Kash Patel sat on the board of DJT and he's about to be FBI director. So to me, it's all lining up for them to go after all this stuff in the markets. Crazy stuff. Speaking of all the Epstein stuff and what's going on with Pam Bondi in now as AG, did you guys know that Trump has officially, let me share this here. He's officially announced he's going to be at the Super Bowl. He's going to be the first sitting president at a Super Bowl, I believe, ever, which is huge. And then there's this. The Super Bowl is the single largest public child and human trafficking event of the year in America. That is 100% true. Everybody's known that for years and years and years. Is it possible with all that stuff there, all that security, Trump being there, Secret Service, is it possible there might be some kind of sting going on there as well? Because again, one of Pam Bondi's biggest things is going after trafficking, which is just, and it's one of Trump's biggest things too. In office, the first time he signed several executive orders, went after trafficking big time. And it's one of the reasons the other side hates him so much, because trafficking is one of their big profit areas. It really is. It's the globalists, the corrupt, the deep state. They use trafficking and to to supply themselves, to use it for blackmail, all kinds of stuff, for profiteering. It's ugly and it's disgusting. And Trump and Bondi are two of the biggest people ever in power in America that hate trafficking and want to go after it. So, so this is big that Trump's going to be at this year's Super Bowl. All right, let's get to the USA stuff as well, because it just keeps going on. Hobbs says maybe Trump will fix the corruption of the refs. Maybe, we can only hope. I love it. Trafficking first, then the refs, that in that order. Like, I mean, the trafficking is just a little more important, but I want the refs to be dealt with as well. All right, here's a clip of Josh Hawley talking about what's going on with the USAID. It's just, it's so good. It's so good, guys.
They're panicking big time, Laura, because their power base is being threatened. That's what's really going on here. I mean, look at what they're doing over USAID. This is because they've used that as their personal plaything. And that includes billions and billions of taxpayer dollars that have gone, to fund outrageous stuff overseas, like trans affirming projects in Zimbabwe or whatever. But also, let's not forget, to fund their preferred media outlets like Politico. And who knows what other left-wing rags have been getting money, federal government money, from this agency, and there's been no accountability. So yes, what's happening is Trump is exposing all of this. He is cutting off the liberal supply chains, as it were, and the liberals are just losing their minds. They're totally losing their minds. We need more of it. You mentioned the IRS. I love it. I love Trump's idea to get rid of the Internal Revenue Service. Let's make it the External Revenue Service. Let's start making these agencies work for the American people. They're panicking big time, Laura, because their power base is being...
I love Hawley. He's one of the good ones. Did you guys hear this? You know what a big deal this is for a U.S. senator to be saying this stuff? I mean, it's huge. He's actually calling it out. Like USAID is the thing that was killing the deep state. It's killing the liberal base. This is how they were funding everything behind the scenes. I started talking about last night. We went on to some of the deep dive stuff, but it just keeps coming. It's more and more and more. And this is why they are freaking out, because the media is picking this up and it is absolutely exposing them. And so these people who are, they want it to stop, because every day it makes it harder and harder for them to come back from this, what's happening to them. And this is crazy. I mean, believe in Q or not, guys, believe in Q or not, but this was predicted in Q posts, which it's crazy to say, but it's true. It says US taxpayers paying for it all. This is from January in 2018. U.S. taxpayers paying for it all. Paris Accord equals scam. Red Cross equals scam. Foreign aid equals scam. War equals scam. On and on. Who audits where the money actually goes? Who actually receives the money? We're finding out now. Thank you, Elon. We are finding out now. The U.S. taxpayer is funding the very people we're engaging in taking down. Slush funds everywhere. Think GS pays for Antifa out of his own pocket. That's George Soros. Think Soros pays for Antifa out of his own pocket. Hole is deep. Feel sick yet? Oh, we didn't. I mean, not enough people felt sick back then, but they're starting to feel it now as more and more and more comes out. This is unbelievable. Okay. It's just crazy what is being exposed. Just like right here. USAID, $68 million to Klaus Schwab. You will eat the bugs. You will eat the bugs. You will own nothing and you will be happy. Yes, you will. It will be. I'm going from Klaus. That's half Klaus, half Arnold. Okay. It's tough. It's tough to do these guys, but I'm doing my best. But you eat the bugs, and 68 million. I talked about last night, but it just keeps coming out more and more and more. I mean, it's absolutely sickening. We're only gonna, why would we pay these guys anything? You know, it's the craziest thing. Then we have stuff like this, which is nuts. Okay. Zero Hedge, going through these documents, found that, so they write, they not only censored us, banned us, and demonetized us, that's the Biden administration, but they gave money to someone else pretending to be us. You can't make this up. They gave money. The SBA they awarded through the SBA Small Business Association to a Zero Hedge LLC $207,000. This is a ripoff fake organization of Zero Hedge. Why? Zero Hedge is one of the best conservative news outlets. They don't have talking heads, all that. It's fine. They don't need to. They write some of the best content though on the internet. They do amazing job. And here they are finding out that the Biden administration using USAID actually was funding through this, filtering it through the Small Business Administration, a fake version of them. You cannot make this stuff up. You just can't make it up. Big JR says, get to the chopper. Get to the chopper. You must get. I cannot believe what they would do to Zero Hedge. Candace says, I hate Elon's getting so much hate, losing some business. You know what? Elon's doing just fine. He's still worth $400 billion. He has FU money. And he's going to be okay. But yeah, it sucks. But overall, every liberal that Elon loses as a customer, he's gaining conservatives. It works out. It works out. Yeah, you will live in the pods. Now I'm doing Arnold. Did Trump give a speech at the WEF? Yeah, he gave a speech because, listen, all these world leaders sit there and they wait, they gather. And Trump, so he didn't show up. He didn't give them the honor of his presence. He called in on Zoom. He did a Zoom call to him. And yeah, he spoke to him. And you know what he said to him? He said he was trolling them. He said straight to their faces, we are done with your corruption. We have pulled out of the scam Paris Climate Accords. We've pulled out of the WHO. He was trolling them to their face saying, hey, F you, WEF. Yeah, I'll show up. I'm going to speak to you guys. I'm going to answer your questions, but it's a power move. I'm showing you that I'm your boss. I'm your daddy now. And that's what he did. It was awesome. It was awesome. Brett says, what's unfolding right now reminds me of the end of Goodfellas, and Ray Liotta says, now it's all over. Not quite, but PBT was crazy today. I almost watched it, but Toe Cramp says, boost it. Oh, really? The site did? That's awesome. Who is this guy? Zero Hedge is run by the KGB. What are you talking about? Tyler Durden? What? That's not who's on Zero Hedge. Tyler Durden is they use it as the avatar for several of their writers. You're hilarious, man. You're funny. You're funny. But Earth is hollow, not flat. Oh boy. We're not going there today. Hobbs says he said to the Bank of America guy, conservatives being debanked and turned away. Yeah, he did. He trolled the snot out of the WEF. He just was like, I'm your daddy, and we're no longer America. He showed up to their faces to say, America is no longer a globalist state. We are America. We are the US. We are sovereign, and we're going to do what's best for us. It was beautiful after decades of just sucking up to these people. And part of that is the climate scam, which of course they've been using forever to have us funnel money to other countries, to other organizations, to power their organizations. And now we have a new energy secretary. And well, let's just share what he had to say about the whole climate scam.
People who are driving policy, the media, politicians, they've never bothered to learn anything about climate change. And they don't seem to appreciate at all that the cost and affordability of energy is simply intimate to human well-being. It always has, everywhere and always. So these two ignorances about the importance of energy and about real facts about climate change are driving just a massively destructive movement, not just destructive to the economic well-being of humans, but I speak in schools, it's turning people away from science, and I mean science, this process of questioning and challenging, not the science, this sort of top-down, mandates that justify what people want to do anyway, that has nothing to do with climate change. And how has it gone so far? So we're 20 years, $2 trillion of subsidies. In the year 2000, the world got 86% of its total primary energy from fossil fuels. So last year, in 2020, that 86% plunged all the way down to 84%. So calling this an energy transition, and everyone in my industry does that. The investment banks, the companies, you're supposed to write an ESG report apologizing that you're in our industry and how you're going to get out someday and your energy transition strategy. Well, the low-hanging fruit is the start. That's the electricity sector in rich countries. If 20 years and that much money drove us from 86 to 84, that's not an energy transition at all.
Yeah, not only is it not an energy transition, it shows that that's not what that money is being used for. That money is being filtered into their pockets. There's a reason why Al Gore, making documentaries, doing all that stuff, is still flying private. There's a reason why DiCaprio is doing the same thing. These people they're buying oceanfront property. I mean, Obama is one of the worst as well. They don't care, but this is our energy secretary now. It should get you hyped. We're going to win so much. It's just, I just can't, there's no getting tired of it. We're just winning, and including the winning. I mean, here we go. Hillary Clinton and Chelsea Clinton. USAID gave Chelsea Clinton tens of millions of dollars and partnered with Liz calls it the sex trafficking organization, the Clinton Foundation, which it is. Straight out from Haiti. In 2010, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton helped oversee $4.4 billion of Congress had earmarked for recovery efforts in Haiti by USAID. In 2010, they were funding organizations trafficking kids, lining the pockets of family members, all while USAID also funded media organizations to cover up that they were trafficking the kids with your hard-earned taxpayer money. It's unbelievable when you see where this goes. I mean, here's the money filtered through here. It's amazing what these are like, what Elon and his team is doing. It's unbelievable. I mean, just the way they are getting all this info out and delivering it to us. But you see right here, Bill and Hillary Clinton, they're right on the end right there. That's where all that money went. Getting it at the foundation. I mean, it's so crazy, but guys, I mean, this is, by the way, this is laying the groundwork. Okay. So right now the information's coming out. We're getting all the information. It's getting out to the people. The people are going to have time now to deep dive it, to process it, to spread it. This is waking the people up. This is the exposure time. This is the D-class time. This is where everybody is starting to get out here, where it's going to become so overwhelming. It's going to be irrefutable, and it's going to get to the point where it's irrefutable, and people they won't want to hear it. The people who are still libs, they're not going to want to hear it. They're going to tune it out because they can't refute it anymore. We're going to have so much evidence being released, and then it sets up justice. Because once the people are on your side, you can start doing justice, and that's where things get really interesting. Susan Burns writes, everything in science books get proven wrong, like transitional monkeys, human fossils still in books, never been a positive mutation gaining DNA data. It's all losses DNA. Interesting. I think it sounds like you're talking about the proof of evolution, which there is no proof because it's impossible to macro evolve. It just is. No species has ever turned into another species. There's microevolution, but there's no such thing as macroevolution. So, Uncle Andy says, I really hope arrests are happening soon. Okay, so I just kind of talked about that, how this is going to happen. Okay, it's going to take a little time, but everything else that's been predicted has been happening. Okay, so there's so much going on. This is the awakening phase. All right, this is the awakening phase, and it's going to take a little bit because it's got to permeate out into the regular people. Okay, as it keeps pushing out to, it's gone from the hardcore research type people who, started learning about this stuff in 2015, 16, 17, really getting it then, even a little bit before that. That's where it really started though. Okay. That was the hardcore. And then it started getting out a little bit more in COVID as people started researching and saying, this doesn't feel right. I need to know more. We're stuck at home. I'm going to deep dive. So it started building a little bit more. Then the election happened in 2020. More people started looking into stuff because it was getting so shady. Then the Biden administration was so corrupt and so outwardly corrupt. More people started waking up. Now it's the final phase. The final phase is we're actually releasing all the evidence out to the world. And that is the final phase where so many people, it's been step by step by step, because now there's a bunch of people like myself and others who've been researching for so long, learning all this stuff, going behind the scenes, that we now get to talk people through this. We get to hold their hands through it and be like, yeah, I can't, I actually knew about this for 5 years, but now we can see it and we can show it to you in much more obvious ways. It's incredible. It's incredible. Thank you, Toe. Vince says, no, we're not doing the Earth stuff tonight. Nice try. Steven Stein says, look up Data Republic. I don't have time to do that tonight, though. Yes, Jordan, I have a wife and kids. I have a wife and 6 kids. Kes Singh says, can't wait till Trump makes an announcement about all this. The time will come. The time will come. Yes, Toe, I totally agree with you. Totally agree. Okay, let's keep going. By the way, if you like what you're seeing, guys, please like this show. There's 155 people watching. Just give it a like. Let's cross 100, and subscribe if you don't mind. I appreciate that as well. And then if you really want to support the channel, support my work, it's, I ask for $3 a month to join. And with that, you get membership lives as well as access to the Discord, which, by the way, I just realized this is how crazy my day has been, guys. This was supposed to be members live tonight, and it's actually open to the public. So sorry, guys. Sorry, members. I owe you an extra life. So my bad, but I will make it up to you. I promise. That's how crazy things have been. Okay. That's where we're at right now. But anyways, yeah, if you want to support the show, that, or you can throw up a super chat, stuff like that. Thank you, because it takes a lot of time and effort to get all this together and make these videos. All right, let's keep moving because there's so much more. All right, I told you guys that with Pam Bondi in, we're getting a little more into the justice side of things. Well, check this out. The mayors of New York City, Boston, Chicago, and Denver confirmed they will attend an oversight committee hearing on March 5th to answer for sanctuary city policies. Ruh-roh. Pam Bondi came out today and said one of the first things they're doing is cutting all funding to sanctuary cities and going after anybody fighting the government on this. So just amazing. Justice is going to come fast with Bondi. She didn't waste any time. Alan Krentz has donated 10 memberships. Thank you, Alan. That's very generous of you. And in now, Don't Fight the Fed, Leonard Armstrong, Susan Burns, Miguel Vasquez, Romero R, Triple 15, The Ghost, Gary Ball, Tyron Roberts, and Sam O. You are now members, and you can come in, and you guys are welcome to the members' lives now, and also into the Discord. So go into that community post, hit that up, and go to that link, and you guys can join the Discord now and talk with us all day long. All right. Jordan Cancel's going bye-bye because he's a moron. Bye, asshole. You're not going to talk about my wife like that. Plus, you don't know what you're talking about. So, all right. Welcome, guys. Thank you for that, Alan. That's very, very generous of you. So all these mayors have said, we're showing up, guys. We're showing up, which is a big deal. Okay. A big deal. I mean, here's Eric Adams, which he's kind of getting along with Trump, but we got, let's move. Come on. Brand Johnson from Chicago, Michelle Wu, Boston. These are like the liberal of the libs, guys. And Mike Johnston from Denver. All the sanctuary cities have come out and said, we're going to stand up to Trump. We're not going to let ICE do this. Yeah, now welcome to DC, guys. You guys are going to get grilled. And Bondi ain't going to play around. We might be seeing mayors go get cuffed, guys, cuffed and put away. It's going to be shocking sights, but it needs to happen. It needs to happen because we can't do this nonsense anymore. Let's keep moving. All right. I don't know if you guys have seen Carolyn Levitt yet, but she is an absolute treat. And this is her today on what's going on with the Politico and the other media from USAID, what they're getting, the liberal media.
I was made aware of the funding from USAID to media outlets, including Politico, who I know has a seat in this room. And I can confirm that the more than $8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to essentially subsidizing subscriptions to Politico on the American taxpayers' dime will no longer be happening. The DOGE team is working on canceling those payments now. Again, this is a whole of government effort to ensure that we are going line by line when it comes to the federal government's books. And this president and his team are making decisions across the board on, do these receipts serve the interests of the American people? Is this a good use of the American taxpayers' money? If it is not, that funding will no longer be sent abroad, and American taxpayers will see significant savings because of that effort. Thank you. I was made aware of.
Pull that funding. My gosh. And man, she is so good. This is, I think, her third press conference. She just goes out there and she does not slow down. She reminds me of Kaylee. Kaylee would come out with her big binder, but man, she goes nuts. She just hammers everything. She comes out with large statements. She doesn't back down. She really does act as the voice of Trump, and she doesn't stumble. There's no there's no dodging questions. She owns the room, and it's very impressive for a 27-year-old. But hey, all these, listen, the liberal media is reeling right now because there were so many payments to them. In fact, it keeps coming out. It's kind of overwhelming. I don't even have the full list right now of all the payments that have been going out to liberal media, but definitely the AP, obviously Politico is the big one everybody's talking about, but there's many more. And it's just showing us, and I talked about this in last night's live, that bubble that felt so overwhelming, that media bubble that felt it just, they made it feel bigger than it actually is. And that's what they did. They were able to accomplish that because of the money, because of filtering all this money. And so it's just so good to hear it's just not going to be, they're just cutting all the funding immediately. All right. A couple of questions here. RFK is going to legalize cannabis soon, says Susan Burns. Uncle Andy says, I like people complaining DOGE has access to their SSNs. IRS already leaked everyone's SSNs years ago. I know. They're trying to find anything they can. Will Trump legalize Mary Jane? About the legalizing weed thing, guys, I have no idea. What I could see is maybe not a full-on legalization, but maybe a decriminalization and then leave it to the states. Maybe. We'll see. I just, not my biggest issue. I don't think it's that important, honestly. I don't want people going to jail for marijuana. That's stupid. But it's also, let's not act like there's a lot more important stuff going on right now, guys. But hey, and I don't know anywhere really that's cracking down on you guys smoking pot, if you want to keep it up. So what's that? Frail girl members only have an 80s flashback. Oh God. Uncle Andy says they were paying liberal Twitch streamers like Vosh. Really? Well, that makes a lot of sense because Vosh sucks. And somehow that idiot, that moron, that lazy fat, he's disgusting. He said some disgusting stuff. He tries to act like he's this intellectual, but he's really stupid. That would explain how he has like 1 million followers. Him, hacks like Destiny. These guys are so liberal, and I have the hardest time believing that their followings are real. I really do, but it would make a lot of sense. So hopefully that all dries up for them. Alan with 10 more memberships. My God, we're going to have an awesome members live when we have it next. Alan Gomez is now in. Zach Butterfeld, Tan for short, The Vineyards, John Waddell, Soul on a Plan. Dr. McLovin is back. Zelly Zen, 5-star appliance, Diamond G. Welcome to the membership. Thank you so much, Alan, man. I really appreciate that. Just Mike says, Caroline reminds me of Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Yeah, maybe. I think she's a little more got that dog in her, though, than even Sanders had. Uncle Andy says, regulators already screwed up legalization of marijuana in most states. Yeah, I mean, it's hard, too, because it's still federally criminalized still. So the states are walking a fine line. They just don't enforce it. I know she's only 27. Isn't that amazing? Idaho and Texas are big no-nos, and I don't see that changing, honestly, except for the medical aspect. They might decriminalize it though. Robert Kapke says, "Oh, I get to say it now because Alan, 5 more. You get a membership, and you get a membership, and you get Alan, brother. Thank you so much, man. That's hugely what a blessing. Thank you so much." Crypto Maniacs in. Aaron Salentine is back. Michael Boyle, Elevated Mental. Oh, it's these people. I haven't seen some of these people in a while. I haven't gotten to it yet, Drew. I'm working through my other coffee. I hadn't finished yet because I don't want that coffee to go bad. So I will be popping open a bag tomorrow, I think. So yeah, Discord's going to be awesome. And Busy Brands is now a member. Busy, you better get up in there. Get up in there. I know. Let's all be members. My goal is someday to have at least 1,000 members because I think it just get really lit. We get some really good stuff in the Discord, guys. So I really hope you jump in there. And the members live sometimes can be nuts as well. So it's a lot of fun. I try to make the members thing really like you guys like this community here. The members aspect, the community aspect just goes way higher. All right, I got to keep moving though because there's so much going on. All right, here's from Qantas Insights, which is one of the best pollsters of the last couple of elections. Mega thread, USAID, media collusion, the shadow campaign fortified 2020 election. Do you guys remember this story from Time Magazine? I did talk about it a while back, but this is them basically admitting how they fumbled the 2020 election. I got to be careful how I talk about this because I'm on YouTube, and YouTube does not like us to talk about this. So I'm going to do this very carefully. But remember this, okay? This is them admitting to what they did. And we're finding out in the USAID stuff that some of that money was funneled from there. Interesting. And that was on Trump's watch, which means he didn't know about it yet. This is back when they were, or he did and was unable to do anything because he was being sabotaged by so many Republicans and stuff left and right, and the whole intelligence agency. He was not nearly as strong as he is now. Time Magazine's own words, shadow campaign. Molly Ball described well-funded cabal work behind the scenes to pressure social media companies to censor election-related content, data-driven strategies, control election narratives, change voting laws, and influence public perception. Key name, Mike Podhorzer, AFL-CIO, political strategist, architect of the shadow campaign. And here we get to USAID's role. While Time framed this as democracy-saving effort, many key players have direct or indirect ties to USAID funding. They funneled millions into media outlets that censor, manipulate, and shape public opinion. Politico, AP, and others received millions in government funding. Same playbook used in 2020. Control of information, media collusion, elite coordination, still in motion today. And it just goes on and on. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because it's a lot, but we're going to keep finding out more and more as this goes. But this is how we beat them, is now it's all being exposed. It's all getting into the light. And this is what changes everything. And speaking of Republicans who are against Trump, look whose name showed up in all of it. Oh, Paul Ryan. Huh. Interesting. Paul Ryan's in there. I don't know if you guys are following Data Republican. You need to start because she's incredible what she's able to do. She's like just nuts with her abilities to get into data from online. But she's going through a lot of these files right now that are now open thanks to Elon. And she's finding all kinds of stuff. And so Paul Ryan's in there as well. And so I cannot wait to see what she publishes on this. But we're going to get the bad Republicans coming out too. They're all coming. It's going to get nuts. Discord is included in the membership. That's correct. Yep. Thank you, Toe. Anything else? You guys are having a good old time in the chat tonight. I love it. All right. Well, you guys, say hey to everybody and be friends, and it's all working. It's working good. Here's the official story. Pam Bondi orders DOJ to pause all federal funding for sanctuary cities, orders prosecution of any jurisdiction impeding immigration enforcement. So there's that. That's just absolutely huge. Loving that. And then Here's where all stuff went. Instead of going to North Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, all the places hit by Helene, $306 billion in disaster relief grants. Where'd it go? The Virgin Islands got $20 billion. Are you kidding me? Disaster grants. Trump's first term, $84.5 billion in disaster grants. Biden, $306.5 billion given out. And yet, think of all the disasters that happened under Biden and how little they got. Maui, North Carolina, Florida, LA. Absolutely insane. Okay, you could kind of say LA is Trump. That's fine. But still, disaster after disaster on Biden's watch. All this stuff coming out, and yet the people weren't getting infrastructure and they were getting $700 checks. Explain that one to me. Alan, again, are you kidding me? You get a membership. You get a membership. Alan Krentz gifts 10 more memberships. He gets James Crosswell and Cliff Duran, Jason D, P-Man on site, Bird, Brian 0512, Fire Captain Matt H, Colby Cormier. Dang, welcome into the membership, guys, where you now get members' lives and access to the Discord and a fancy little green lettering there. Thank you for the support. Alan, man, thank you so much. You in a good mood tonight? Do you have a good red wine or something? This is awesome. Thank you so much. You guys are the best. So yeah, please, if you can't give, and that's okay, I get it. Like, share, subscribe. That helps a lot as well. So get those stats, baby, right, Diamond? Let's get the likes over 100. So anyways, Biden giving out that money and somehow $19.5 billion to good old little Virgin Islands, who has a GDP of $4.6 billion. I mean, if I wasn't having fun with this because I'm just enjoying it so much, I would be, oh yeah, East Palestine too. That's right, Mike. Unbelievable. All these places get ignored, and yet they used it as excuses to funnel all this money out. If there should be there's a celebration feeling right now of all the good stuff going on, right? Because we are winning so hard right now. This is just awesome. This is all winning, that it's all coming out. But it also should be infuriating for us. We already kind of knew this was happening. Now we're seeing the details, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse the more we see. But this is how we're going to wake people up. Todd Earhart with 5 memberships. Dang, it's becoming a thing tonight. Thank you, guys. That's amazing. KYP, what's up, friend, is back in. Hypno Toad, Strength in Numbers, Ruby, and Hot Rod. Hot Rod, like the Transformer, is back in, and we still didn't go over 100 likes yet. Wow. Todd Earhart, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And I hope everybody enjoys the membership because of that. What's the Discord? Discord is where you can get in and you can chat with a bunch of us all day long. It's just an ongoing chat room all day with different subjects. We talk stocks, we talk politics, and it's just a good way to jump in. We got some great guys doing great stuff with the stock market and trading in there. It's a great group. It's a great group. So get in on the community tab on my YouTube page and go to the link on the post and you'll get right in. Trader Grow said, signed up legit membership today after cracking iPhone subscription code on YouTube. You finally figured it out. They make it hard. They make it as tough as possible. So anyways, okay, let's keep going because there's more. There's so much more. And I'm not even going to be able to get it all tonight, but I'm doing my best. Mario Nafal writes, Associated Press, independent, but funded by the government. Turns out it's not just political. AP isn't just reporting the news, cashing checks for Uncle Sam. At least $19.5 million in government contracts, mostly from State Department and U.S. Agency for Global Media. $19.5 million to the AP. I remember having this conversation with a friend back in 2004, 2005. And I was telling him how the media is so corrupt. I even knew it back then. I was like, so corrupt. It's run by liberals. It's all biased. And he was like, even the AP? And I didn't have a good answer back then because I didn't know yet. The AP was kind of accepted as like the just boring, unbiased news organization. Obviously, now I know better, but this is just even more proof. There's a lot of people who believe the AP is completely unbiased. And here it is, just getting those contracts, baby. Getting those contracts. Diamond G with the $2 super chat says, it's so much winning after so much suffering. LFG, let's go, baby. I love it. Yes. We're getting our recompense. This is after all that waiting, all that suckiness. This is the goodness with interest. That's what's happening. Time to short S&P 500. I don't think it's there yet, but I think it's definitely coming this year, but I don't know if we're there yet. 24 million for global warming on Mars. No, I didn't see that one. That's unbelievable. Mike Mishler says, this is mind-blowing what we're uncovering. If anyone votes for Democrat in the next 10 to 20 years, they're delusional. Yeah, they are. And there's still a lot of delusional ones. But the more and more this comes out, the harder it's going to be for them to ignore it. But look at this. We're just getting the files. We're getting the actual files that these, and this always kind of blows my mind that they actually keep this stuff on record, but they do. And it's just crazy. It's the craziest stuff. All right, let's see here. Okay, I got a couple things. Oh, all right. Here we go. All right. I talked about this last night. And I told you, what did I tell you guys last night? I said, watch for them going after the COVID fraud. And no joke, today, like clockwork, on the money, we get the first prosecution after the COVID fraud. 7 charged in America's biggest COVID tax credit fraud scheme, accused of over $600 million in fraudulent claims. They weren't going after this stuff under Biden. And now within 2 weeks of Trump, they're going after it. They used COVID to launder so much money, so much, $600 million between just 7 people. We're not even getting to the states yet. Wait till we get to the state governments, but it's coming. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but it was an ERC scam, among other things, just insane. But they're going after the COVID money. And I predicted this last night, and it's fun to be proven right a day later that this is going to start happening. And then you guys thought we saw a lot so far. Wait till now. Elon Musk and DOGE engineers have just gotten security clearances. Oh man, you thought we were seeing a lot the last few days. Now they got clearance. It's going to get wild. Drew asked, does it have an app for Discord? Yeah, you got to get the Discord app, and then you can get on really easy. Tokram says, Apple hates YouTube so much they made YouTube remove the button from the app on iOS for the join. That's right. If you're on an Apple device and you want to join, which sucks because the most people who watch me on Apple products. So I'm sure there's a lot of people here who would join if they weren't on Apple. But if you want to join and you're on Apple, you have to get out of the app, go to Safari, click desktop mode, go to settings, click desktop mode. From desktop mode, go to YouTube in your Safari browser, go to YouTube, find my channel, join from there. It's a mess, but that's the only way, because Google doesn't give Apple any money from YouTube. And so Apple won't allow you to spend money on YouTube, or at least to join. So crazy. Candace says, all those billions of dollars, can you imagine how much good that could have been spreading it out to all of us? Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're talking trillions of dollars in the last 40, 50 years have been wasted and filtered through this stuff. Trillions of dollars that could have gone to infrastructure in our country. Trillions of dollars that could have helped disaster relief. I mean, helped fix public schools. I mean, you name it. That money could have easily gone into our own country, fixed dams, that are breaking, bridges, made our electrical grid better. I mean, it's so much money that could have just made our lives better. And yet we just they've been enriching themselves. There's a reason why senators go in worth, 50,000 to 100,000. Some of them are rich, but most of them are not. Most of them are like us. They go in as regular people and they come out worth hundreds of millions of dollars, despite having what in a city like DC or New York is just a regular salary around 200,000 a year. That you don't get a lot for that in a big city like New York or DC. That's like paying the bills, and they turn that into hundreds of millions of dollars. This is how it's crazy. Brett says, pretty soon the new DOJ slogan will be, you get a RICO, you get a RICO, you get a RICO. I'm looking forward to that one. There'll be so much weighing with felony convictions and you start building prisons, says Brett. Oh, it's going to be crazy. It's really going to get crazy. This is all new right now to most people. So just wait, because it is going to get to the point where it's no longer new, and it's going to be, they're going to be thinking about it and getting angry. This is the shock right now. This is the shock and awe part of it all. The anger is going to come. Some of it's already there, but the anger is definitely coming. So, all right. Last thing I want to share tonight, because some people are bringing up the markets, which goes right into this. Reverse repo is tapped out. It's pretty much gone. Now, this is where they keep the money that they help the banks that are failing. Okay. This is how they keep liquidity going when things aren't going so well. This has been slowly being tapped out for the last 2 years, and now we're hitting the bottom. Verse repo hit their lowest inventory in 1,385 days. That's 4 years. Do you know what's coming? I mean, get ready, guys, because the ability to pump up this fake market is starting to slip away. Trump is now in, so they are not pushing the treasury bond sales as much. They're not flooding the market with as much money from the treasury. And the Fed, all the Fed's tools that they use is starting to dry up as well. Reverse repo being one of the big ones. They already ended the BTFP, Bank Term Funding Program. And it's not going to be good for long, guys. I think it's still going to take a little bit. It's going to take a little bit to break things, but there's when it breaks, it's going to go fast. It will. So make your money while you can, and then get ready. Now, I've been trying to tell you guys for a while what I think, but you guys also need to just make your own decisions, follow your own convictions when this goes down. I do believe that those of us who've been preparing for this, who've been learning the markets the last few years and kind of how to move if things get really bad, I do believe it's going to end up being a time of growth and prosperity, especially coming out of it. So it's going to be good. Alan says we need to keep this topic going to force the media to have to talk about it. You're talking about USAID. Well, it's all anybody's talking about on X right now, and X drives the narrative now. It's no longer the days where the New York Times controls the narrative. It's X, because news travels so fast that any legacy media is now too slow to drive a narrative. So every time they try to push anything now, it's destroyed. But that was under the Biden administration when they were in charge. They're not in charge anymore. Now Trump controls the narrative. Trump in the White House, and they are moving so fast, legacy media can't keep up. The only way to stay on top of news right now is to be on X. It's the only way. Anywhere else, you're going to be behind. It's just how it is. News travels lightning fast on X. X is it's controlling the narrative, and USAID is the biggest story on X right now. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it's even still trending. But that's all that's in my feed nonstop is just, yeah, I mean, you can go look, this shows you just how The power of X. Politico trending 680,000 posts. Chelsea Clinton. I mean, there's sports and stuff on here too. There's the stuff that like, just it's always up there when there's trades, all that, and that's fine. People still love their sports, but it's still in that top 30. And what that means is that if you're following politics at all on X, which is almost impossible not to, it's coming across your feed. You go to the news feed. I mean, Trump with the transgenders, the unedited Kamala Harris interview. I'm not even going to have time to get to that. They released the full unedited version of her 60 Minutes interview, and it totally shows what an idiot she is. Next, USAID, CIA linked to Trump impeachment. I mean, this is the news. These are the stories on X right now. This is what's dominating. USAID, 3 of the top stories, guys. We are the media now, and the media is run on X. This is the great discussion place. This is where you need to be if you want the news. Anywhere else, it's crawling compared. It just is. And this is where the media, this is where they were getting, one of the reasons they were so pissed off when Elon took it over is because this is where they were given their narratives because it traveled so fast. This is where news would spread. All the journalists would pick up their talking points and run with it it was always X. It was always Twitter. And now Elon controls it. So pretty crazy. Candace says, how can anybody after hearing these things, all this money is going to have the balls to stand out and protest? They're shameless. These people are shameless and just so corrupt. It's sickening. It is sickening. Drew Saval says, not financial advice. I think Core Civic and GO group stock will go up soon because they're immigration detention facilities. Well, that's interesting. Huh. Kasink asked, do I hear all USA ship travels through the Panama Canal for free now? Yes. I'm glad you brought that up. That's actually pretty big news. So let's bring that up. And here it is. Official from the State Department. U.S. government vessels can now transit Panama Canal without charge fees, saving the U.S. government millions of dollars a year. The stuff we're getting done in just 2 weeks is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Craig says you're still kicked off X. You use Gab. Gab's okay. You're just not going to have the buy-in from as many people on Gab. So sometimes it won't travel very fast on Gab. Did you just try starting a new email and getting on? I have like 7 emails, so I can always be on X. Anyways, well, guys, I'm actually starting to lose my voice, so I'm going to have to call it a night. But listen, we are winning so hard. We really are. It's unbelievable. This has been the best 2 weeks and 2 days of my life following politics. It's unbelievable. Like my brother-in-law called to say today, he's got the most hope he's had in his life. And that's what we should all have, hope, because things are getting so much better. We're at the beginning. This is not over, but they are defeated and we can see it. There's still going to be fights. There's still going to be pushback, but if we just keep churning, we'll win. And the one of the things that makes me the most excited is that Trump is doing all of this at lightning speed, which means they have no time to regather and fight back because he's jumping here and there. And this is coordinated. Trump planned this. You can tell this was planned by him and his people, his administration. He doesn't even have all his nominees in yet, guys. He just now got Bondi. Just wait. And Bondi wasted no time. Slapped down those sanctuary cities on day one. These people aren't waiting around anymore. It's just going to keep happening. I don't think we're going to slow down much at all, at least not this first year. I think this first year is just going to be nonstop the whole year. So buckle up. I have so much. We're going to keep talking so much. Candace says, hope you get healed up real fast. Thank you. I'm healing well. The energy is still not the best, but I'm getting there. Cindy Lewis says, eat too much popcorn being entertained by X. X is addicting right now. I completely agree. Buckle up, says Toe. I agree. Thomas, God bless you. It says, have a peaceful evening unless you're Democrat to vote for Trump. Robert, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hey guys, if you like the show, please consider supporting me with a membership. And there's a couple options. $3 is the lowest. So please consider that if you like the show. And if not, please support with a like and a subscribe. I appreciate that as well. You guys are the absolute best. And let's pray and have a good night. So Heavenly Father, thank you for today. God bless this community. Thank you for all of them, Lord. Thank you so much for what Trump's doing, Elon's doing, this team. Just continue to give them wisdom and bless their hands, Lord, and protect Trump and all of them, Lord. Protect our leadership. The Super Bowl this week, pray it is a safe place, especially knowing Trump's there. And God, that you just continue to keep your hand on this nation, moving us forward. I thank you, Lord, for all of it. It is so exciting, and we just pray for more. We don't want this to stop. We want to see it through to the end so that we know it's just fully done. And it sure looks like that's the plan of our team. So thank you for that. Bless this community in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Love you guys. Brett says, Victor DH had a really good video tonight talking about Trump is shaking things up so much. Left is in disarray. They can't come up with a plan. I agree with that. Yeah. Who do I want to play me in a movie? I don't know. Who's 40 and as good looking as me? I don't know. There's not many. Chris Hemsworth, maybe. Right. Johnny Strayhorn says, where we watch had a miss bunch tonight. Oh, God bless you, Johnny. Yeah. Well, thank you. They'll impeach again. No, there's one guy filing impeachment. It won't happen. The House will never impeach him. Alan says, to win the House and Senate, we have to win these first years. We will. But you're right. You're absolutely right. Wicked says, I hate X. I wake up 4 to see us being It's addicting. I know. It's very addicting. Fro Girl, have a good night. Just Mike, God bless you. And yeah, BM Pro, Toe Cramp, you guys take care. Have a great night, y'all. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.